Relatives of some of the 8 victims of a massacre at a Plano home last year say the bar and bartender who served the shooter before his bloody rampage are partly responsible for the deaths. On Sept. 10. Spencer Hight walked into the home of his estranged wife, Meredith Hight, and opened fire on the party she was hosting. Shortly before the shooting, Spencer Hight had been drinking at the local public house, a bar down the street from his wife's home that he was known to frequent. A lawsuit, filed Thursday on behalf of the parents of Daryl William Hawkins, Caleb Seth Edwards and James Richard Dunlop, accuses the bar and bartender Lindsay Glass of being negligent in serving Hight, who is said to have been visibly intoxicated and waving around a knife while making alarming remarks. Couple's marriage unraveled long before husband killed wife and friends in Plano mass shooting. Glass and local public house are the only defendants listed in the suit, but the civil complaint also alleges that bartender Timothy Brandt Banks and owner Jerry Owen played roles in the tragedy. After Banks reported Hight's behavior to Owen, the bar owner told Banks not to call police, according to the suit. A woman who answered the phone at the local public house on Thursday evening said Owen wasn't available. Glass and Banks couldn't be reached for comment. Based on a report from the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, the lawsuit gave the following account of what investigators said happened at the bar. Sept. 10. Hight arrived around 2:39 p.m. He drank 2 gin and tonic served by Glass before leaving at 2:57 p.m. He returned to the bar at 6:39 p.m., this time visibly intoxicated. Hight spoke with Glass on the patio before taking a seat at the bar and drinking beer she served him. He is said to have then pulled out a large knife and spun it around on the bar. Spencer Hight, in a photo posted to his Facebook page on June 27, 2017. Glass then served Hight another beer and a shot of vodka. 5 minutes later, Glass sent a text message to Banks, who was not working at the time. She told Banks that Hight had a knife and was drunk and being weird. 10 minutes later, Hight took a seat on the bar's patio and pulled a pistol from his right front pocket and set it on the table, the lawsuit alleges. Banks entered the bar and clearly saw how intoxicated Hight was, according to the lawsuit. He escorted Hight to his car to put the knife and gun away. Banks then told Hight that he should let him drive him home or that Hight should get an Uber because he was intoxicated. Hight said he was having problems with his estranged wife and had to do something tonight. Banks replied that Hight should do whatever it was he needed to do when he was sober, and Hight said he couldn't do the things he needs to do tonight without being this intoxicated, according to the lawsuit. Murder of 8 in Plano shows family violence extends beyond an abusive relationship. Banks then called Owen, one of the bar's owners. Banks told Owen he thought something bad was going to happen with Hight, and asked if he should call police, the suit says. Owen allegedly told him not to. While on the phone with Owen, Banks saw Hight leaving the bar and asked his boss if he should tackle him, but Owen said to let him go, according to the suit. The shooting victims were, top row, from left, Meredith Hight, 27, Ryan Morgan, 31, James Dunlop, 29, and Maya Bass, 28, and bottom row, from left, Caleb Edwards, 25, Olivia Defner, 24, Daryl William Hawkins, 22, and Anthony Tony Cross, 33. Hight drove away from the bar at 7:38 p.m. with a blood alcohol level of at least 0.33%, more than 4 times the legal limit, and headed to his estranged wife's home. Concerned about what Hight might do, Banks and Glass followed him, the suit says. When they realized he was driving to his wife's home, they called 911 before driving away. With an AR-15 rifle in hand, Hight walked into the home and gunned down his wife and 7 other people, including friends who had been in his wedding. A 9th person was seriously wounded. Hight was killed after exchanging gunfire with a Plano police officer. The lawsuit, which seeks more than $1 million in damages, says that the bar and Glass were grossly negligent in serving Hight alcohol and failing to monitor his consumption, and that his intoxication was the proximate cause of the deaths of Hawkins, Edwards and Dunlop. If somebody had called the police, none of this would have happened, said Brett Stalkup, an attorney who filed the suit on behalf of their families. A copy of the TABC report, obtained by KTVT-TV Channel 11, shows that Glass and Banks gave state investigators accounts inconsistent with text messages and statements gathered by Plano police. Spencer has a big knife on the bar and is spinning it and just asked for his tab and said, "I have to go do some dirty work," Glass texted Banks, according to a message documented in the TABC report. She added, "Psycho," but when Glass spoke with a TABC investigator, she said she didn't remember texting Banks about the knife or telling her colleague that Hight was drunk, according to the report. The TABC investigator wrote that she denied seeing signs that Hight was intoxicated, even though surveillance footage from the bar showed him staggering and running into a picnic table. Ryan Hughes, an attorney for local public house, was present during Glass' interview with the TABC, according to the investigator's notes. Hughes also accompanied Banks for his TABC interview, in which the bartender reportedly contradicted statements he had made to Plano police. Banks told the TABC investigator that he couldn't remember if he had asked Owen, the bar owner, if he should call police. When the investigator asked Banks if he believed he should have called the police after seeing Hight with a large knife and a gun magazine, Banks said no, according to the report. The TABC investigator noted the contrast to the response Banks gave Plano police the night of the shooting, when he said, "So, by not making that call early enough, by not intervening, by not doing what everything in my heart told me to do, I let the worst murder in the case of Plano ever happened. Sick. Did you miss these stories?"